Congratulations first off on becoming the new Westmeath senior football manager.
Very much, Tom. It's an honour and a privilege to be, first of all, considered and then passed through by the county board and the club. So I'm absolutely delighted now to be appointed the new Westmeath manager.
And what obviously attracted you to the role of Westmeath manager?
For years, as a player representing the county for years, and then been involved for a number of years with different management teams. It's a lifelong interest and it's a lifelong passion, and I guess the time has come now to actually take on the role, and I'm delighted to do that.
And obviously when the job came up for grabs, you were the people's choice kind of for the role. How positive a reaction and how good is it a reaction you've got since your appointment?
Very positive, very positive. A lot of good well-wishers, which is great. So just really looking forward to just getting down to a bit of work now and working with the players over the next few months and driving it on.
And obviously the first Westmeath manager in 20 odd years. What do you think has taken them so long?
I've seen that statistic floating around. I'd consider Luke Dempsey a Westmeath man myself at this stage. He's done tremendous work for Westmeath all over the years. So again, it's a statistic. It's a good statistic. Probably won't have any impact on what we do going forward. So it's an interesting fact.
How has the news been received around your local Kinnegad and your home area?
Good, yeah, good, really good. I guess it's always good to have a local fella representing the county or managing the county and they all take an interest in it. So from that perspective, it's very, very good, and delighted with the feedback on it. Yeah.
And obviously, you were a very special player for Westmeath in your playing career. Is there anything that you're going to bring from those or under any manager that you can maybe tap up and get some information?
Yeah, special is a good word. I don't know what I agree with that, but it's like everything. You arrive at a certain point where I am now, and it's an accumulation of all the experience both as a player and as a coach, and you take bits and pieces from everything and everybody that's made an impact and that's influenced you over those years, and you just hope that where you are now you have a right mix and a good combination of everything to try and move things on then.
And obviously then training methods and all have completely changed since your time. How have you adapted to that, or your training methods? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, it's certainly a big change. There's a lot of sports science involved now. I suppose the big thing now is the strength and conditioning element of how teams are prepared. There's the performance analytical side of it. There's the sports psychology side of it. So I guess back when I was playing, a lot of that was done by 2 or 3 people. Now there's a team of people involved. We'll certainly be looking to bring as much as possible of current training methods and sports science methodology into how we prepare. And certainly it has changed, and it's important that you embrace that and you use it to your advantage to improve the standard and improve, the overall environment that you're training in.
And bringing a big team like that gives you then free time to actually concentrate on your job and getting a good group of players together and keeping them in a positive environment as you can possibly do so.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the main things of having that support there for the players, is to create a platform or an environment for them to prepare, train and perform to their best.
And obviously you bring a lot of inter-county experience, selector on the party. What was that like? And obviously you're going to bring some experiences from those glory days.
Yeah, they were special times. I was involved with Luke for 3 years before that. They were magical times as well. We had great 3 years there, and then Paddy came in for 2 along with Tomas. And then we went on, we won the Leinster, our first Leinster, which was again great memories, great experience, a roller coaster time. And I'm delighted for that bunch of players and the people that are involved all around that time. It was just a reward for all the work that went in. So certainly you'll be going back to that. and trying to recreate something like that again. But again, we'll see and certainly use that experience for the current position.
And even like in those times have changed again, and you went on to your role in with Donegal, and that was maybe an eye opener to many at the time, because it was the beginning of the age of analysis and all of that. How have you learned from that experience?
Yeah, Donegal was brilliant. It was there for 2 years working under Rory Gallagher. Brilliant environment to be involved in. The lads had just come off an All-Ireland final in September of 2014. So great environment, great bunch of players, just working under really, really high standards and driving it on. So I'd certainly be taking whatever I learned from there and trying to implement it in Westmeath as well.
And obviously then the club championship in Westmeath is getting to the business end of the season. Will you be trying to go into obviously as many games as possible from the quarter-final stages, etc.?
Yeah, well, would keep an interest in club football in Westmeath all over the years anyway, so I get to as many games as I can. And I've been involved with Coruscant Kinnegad over the last couple of seasons, a couple of years, so get to see quite a few games there. So yeah, to get around to as many games as possible, and there'll be a greater emphasis and focus on that now over the next few weeks.
And obviously the time of the year it is now, you're trying to get a group together. What type of a player are you looking for any club player that maybe is ambitious enough to try catch your eye in these games? What kind of a type of a player are you looking for?
Well, you know, the big thing about inter-county football now, like it's almost a holistic approach. Commitment is one of the big things that's part of inter-county football. I guess there's a window there for players within 60 minutes of championship football to try and express themselves in terms of their attitude and their commitment. And certainly you can see a lot of that within a player when they're playing. So just really looking forward to going out and seeing as many games as we can. And there's a depth of talent there in Westmeath. And what we'll be trying to do over the next few weeks is try and get as much of all of that talent available to us.
And obviously the talent then, following the under-20s last year, there's some great talent coming up in that team and also.
There is, yeah, and I've seen them playing a couple of games and performed very, very well, and Damien Gavin did a great job with his team. So, yeah, we'll be looking at a lot of those players as well and bringing them in and continuing the pathway that they're on and getting them ready and prepared for senior inter-county football.
And obviously Rome wasn't built in a day. There's going to be a lot of tough times to go through. But you want to be given your time to get your philosophy in and your structures in place more so.
Yeah, I think so. And like, let's not forget, we were in 2 Leinster finals up to last year. So there's been huge amounts of work done under Colin Kelly's tenure last year and Tom Cribben's the 3 years previous to that. So it's a matter of building on that and having continuity from that, and then bringing our own slant and our own philosophy to it, to try and create a really, really good environment for the lads to prepare and train in.
And what advice would you give maybe the underage player in Westmeath at the moment that maybe is looking at Dublin winning 3 in a row or 4 in a row and saying, what's the point of playing football for Westmeath?
I think, you know, there's a lot of counties out there that could have that argument. But first and foremost, I think there's a huge amount of pride and passion in representing your own county. I think you've got to a very, very high level when you get to represent your own county, and that's what I'd be encouraging fellas, is to show that ambition and that pride and that passion in the county, and then see where it takes you. Have all those ingredients, and then see where that can take you on whatever journey you want to go on.
And will you be taking throwing an eye on the actual structure of the underage, saying who's managing and giving advice there, and maybe putting your stamp on the talent that's coming through?
I guess the immediate concern is just getting a senior panel together, getting structures in place to start preparing and focusing on the league next year, and the O'Byrne Cup first of all. So I guess we get a bit of momentum going and all of that, get organised, and then we see what kind of where we can help along the way with underage teams or structures. But I think the immediate focus is to get up and running and start preparing for the 2019 season.
And then your backroom team, have you decided those yet?
Yeah, we're well down the road in terms of putting a team together. So it's very exciting and very interesting, and a lot of good experience coming in there. So
Can you give us any names or
um,
any confirmations?
well, we've Pascal Caelan is coming in as the football coach, which is great. Pat's a very, very experienced coach. Delighted to have him coming on board. We've Cathal Mullen coming in also as part of the team management and goalkeeping coach. And then we've Joe Nagel and Katie Murphy here from Wolfhound Fitness in Mullingar taking on the strength and conditioning side of things. So that's where we've got at the moment. Then we'll have the medical team coming into place, and then all the other support people that'll be in place. So we're making good progress, but we've more progress to make in terms of that.
And Jack, overall, what would you say to the Westmeath supporter for next season, 2019 season? You're putting your soldiers in place, say, for your management team, getting the group together. What would you say to the supporters coming out to support Westmeath next year, or maybe to entice them to come out and support next year?
Well, we just want to create a bit of momentum if we can. Everybody is a stakeholder in this. We're just leading the charge, you know, ourselves and the team. But everybody is a stakeholder in the interest and in the future of Westmeath football. And I'd ask them to, you know, vote with their feet and come in here, and hopefully we can give them something to be proud of. Hopefully we can give them something that they can follow. It's not that long ago I was driving up to Crow Park involved with teams when there was thousands and thousands of Westmeath people driving up to support us. So it would be great to be back there again, but it's small steps. It's small steps, and I just hope that we can get the Westmeath people back behind us again. I really, really hope we can.
Well, Jack, from everybody at Westmeath GAA, both here in Ireland and worldwide, congratulations on your appointment. The very, very best of luck, and we'll be behind you all the way.